One of my favourite exercises to develop your bottom position for weightlifting is the snatch grip SOTS press. A snatch grip SOTS press basically just refers to pressing the bar overhead in a strict manner from the squat like this. So you're sitting into the bottom of the squat and you're just going to do an overhead press of the snatch grip. The reason this is really good is because it gets you to spend more time in the bottom of a squat, which is obviously good to mobilise your squat and get more comfortable there for snatches, but also because you're sat in the bottom like this and your hips are flexing, it's locking your back and hips into place, you can't use your lower back to compensate. So you have to use your upper body, you have to use your thoracic, you have to use your actual upper body to press, rather than being able to do what you do when you're standing, which is being here and being able to lean into your lower back to press it. The only issue with this is that it's actually quite hard to get into a SOTS press initially, especially if you're not just like naturally gifted with a very upright squat position. So instead of just trying to like suffer with a bar, there's a really, really easy progression that you can use to get into it. The things you're going to need is maybe something to elevate your heels, or just something solid to hold on to. If you're a CrossFit box, just go to the rig, because that's going to be the easiest thing to use. Then you're going to need a kettlebell first and then a dumbbell, and we're going to do single arm SOTS presses. The reason we're going to do them single arm is because when you do single arm pressing, you can kind of cheat the movement a little bit by moving to your thoracic and rotating. But I say cheating, it's probably actually better because you're going to get more movement than you would if you were stuck underneath the bar in a square position. So that's going to allow you to get a little bit more range of motion, more movement in this plane, so you can open up your upper back a little bit more. If you still struggle, even when you've got your arm braced like this, to sit into an upright position, all I want you to do is go grab a plate, or if your gym's like one of the ones that's got a slant board, you're lucky enough to have one of those, grab that, and you're going to sit like this. So this is going to be the basic version that I want you to do. Start with a kettlebell because it's easy to stabilize and it'll help to guide you back into the overhead position. You're going to go here, you're going to use the rig as much as you need to lean against, and what I want you to do is allow yourself to rotate as you press. So if you see here, if I face you, I'm not trying to stay super strict. I'm trying to bring the dumbbell down in front. I'm trying to allow myself to lean and rotate a little bit. As long as I'm able to get my arm locked out relatively over the middle of my body here, I'm going to let myself turn as much as I want to. So the progressions for this would be to use a kettlebell, use the brace in front, use a heel elevation to make it easier, press through, use this as a warm-up drill, or better yet as accessory work where you actually push it for some hard sets, the same as you would like dumbbell bench or rows or pull-ups. And then what you do is you progress up in weight, or you progress towards a dumbbell because it's less stable. And again, you still use the rig to help you out. Let's say you progress that for a couple of weeks, then you're just going to take the heel elevation away, and you're going to start doing it here, pressing this way, still using that rig to lean against. Then maybe eventually you're able to do the same progression using a heel elevation, using a kettlebell then a dumbbell, and progressing the weight, but doing it just freestanding like this. Because again, this is now going to actually be, in some ways, a bit more challenging than a normal SOTS press. And then when you finally go back to the bar, you should feel like you can just challenge your body a little bit more, and it's a little bit easier to get into position with the bar. Do it as a warm-up for 2 or 3 sets of 10 before you snatch or clean and jerk or squat. And then when you want to use it for accessory work, just do it like once or twice a week for a couple of sets and just make sure they're hard in like a 10 to 20 rep range.